I know people are going to look at that July 1 day and be looking to see if there's anything done. But for me, I'm just not in a rush that way.
Something big is coming to hockey, and it's not just about one team. On July 1st, Connor McDavid will make a move no one saw coming. That move could change how the best players in the league get paid. It will break a rule that stars have followed for years. What happens next may change the NHL forever.
Winning would be it's the most important thing. If I feel that there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem.
Connor McDavid is one of the best hockey players in the world. He plays for the Edmonton Oilers. He has scored more than 100 points in many seasons. He has won the MVP award 3 times. He led the Oilers to the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row. But on July 1st, the big story won't be about goals or assists. It will be about money, contracts, and something much bigger. McDavid signed his last contract in 2017. It was an 8-year deal worth $100 million. That means he has been making $12.5 million every year. This deal ends in 2026. But NHL rules say a player can start talking about a new contract 2 years before the old one ends. So on July 1st, 2025, McDavid will be allowed to sign a new deal. Most top players sign the longest deal possible. That's usually 8 years. It gives them more safety and helps the team plan for a long time. But this time, McDavid is expected to do something very different. Reporters say that McDavid might not want a long contract. Instead, he could ask for a shorter one, maybe just 4 years. Some people even say he could sign for only 2 or 3 years. This is something very few superstars have done. Why would McDavid want a short deal? The answer is the salary cap. The salary cap is the most money a team can spend on its players. This year, the cap is $88 million. Next year, it will go up to $97 million. In a few years, it might go even higher. If McDavid signs a short contract now, he can sign another one later when the cap is much bigger. That means he could make even more money. Other players have done this. Austin Matthews signed a 5-year deal in 2019. In 2023, he signed a 4-year deal. Leon Draisaitl just signed an 8-year deal for $112 million. But McDavid might want something shorter than all of them. Connor McDavid hasn't said much about his plans, but he did say this to NHL.com after the season. "I'm not in a rush to make any decision." He also said, "I need to do what's best for me and my family." These are clues that he is thinking very carefully. The Edmonton Oilers also know what's happening. Their new general manager, Stan Bowman, says he wants to keep McDavid. But McDavid said something important. He said, "If I feel that there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem." That means he wants to be sure the team can keep winning. If McDavid signs a short deal, he will be a free agent again in 2029 or 2030. That means other teams will have a chance to try and sign him. Teams like the Maple Leafs, Panthers, Kings, and Flyers might all be watching. If McDavid becomes a free agent, they might try to get him. Experts are saying this could change how NHL contracts work. Sports writer Pierre LeBrun said, "There's a good chance McDavid will sign a shorter deal instead of an 8-year max one." ESPN's Greg Wyshynski said, "It's not just about money, it's about power and timing." Connor McDavid had another amazing season. In 2024 to 2025, he scored 100 points in 67 games. In the playoffs, he scored 33 points in 22 games. That was the most in the league. He was named playoff MVP, even though the Oilers lost in the finals. Because of his great numbers, McDavid is more valuable than ever. If he signs a short deal, he can sign again in a few years for a lot more money. Some people believe he could make over $18 million per year in his next deal. That would be the highest ever in NHL history. This kind of deal gives the player more power. Usually teams like long contracts, but short deals let players choose more often. They can pick better teams or wait for the salary cap to go up. That's why this is such a big deal. Right now, McDavid has a $12.5 million cap hit, If he signs again soon, that number could go way up. If he waits, it might go even higher. And that's why this decision is so important. It affects not just him, but the whole NHL. Some reporters say McDavid may take a deal with only 2 or 3 years. That would give him the chance to test the market again very soon. And if he wins a Stanley Cup in that time, he could leave Edmonton as a free agent and pick any team he wants. Connor McDavid's next contract could change everything. It might change how young players sign their first big deals. It might change how teams plan their future. And it might change how much money top stars can make. This is why so many people are watching July 1st. That's the day McDavid is allowed to start contract talks. If he signs a short deal, other players may copy him. That could mean big changes in the NHL's old contract system. And if McDavid does leave Edmonton in a few years, it could be one of the biggest moves in NHL history. Teams will spend a lot of money to get a player like him. But right now, the Oilers still have a chance to keep him. Whether he signs for 2 years, 4 years, or 8 years, McDavid is changing the game, not just on the ice, but at the contract table. He didn't need to say a lot. Just by thinking about a short deal, he has already made waves across the NHL. On July 1st, the hockey world will be watching because what Connor McDavid chooses to do next might change everything.
I don't know. I mean, you feel for it. I mean, I'm feeling the same way. It's like I said, it's sad. It's heartbreaking. It's something you don't enjoy. We're not happy with that outcome either. And yeah.
Mitch Marner plays hockey for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but something big is going on. Just days after the team lost in the playoffs, a video showed Marner yelling at teammates during the game. Now reports say he might leave. Teams are talking, trade ideas are growing, and something almost happened already. It didn't, but it was close. Now everyone's watching. Mitch might not stay. On May 18, 2025, the Toronto Maple Leafs played one of the most important games of their season. It was Game 7 of the playoff series against the Florida Panthers. Fans were excited. Everyone was hoping the Leafs would win and move on to the next round, but they didn't win. They lost badly. The final score was 6-1. The Panthers moved on. The Leafs went home. This loss was more than just another defeat. It made NHL history. It was the 7th time in a row that the Leafs lost in Game 7 of a playoff series. No other team has ever done that. That's a record the team didn't want to break. But the score wasn't the only thing people talked about that night. During the game, a video clip was recorded and quickly spread across the internet. In the video, Leafs star Mitch Marner was yelling at his teammates. He looked angry. Some fans said he didn't look like he was even trying hard. One person wrote online, "Not a drop of sweat on his head." That short clip started a storm of questions. Why was Marner yelling? Was he blaming the team? And most of all, was this the moment that broke the Toronto Maple Leafs? Just days after the loss, new reports started coming out. They said that Mitch Marner might not want to play for Toronto anymore. One article from the Times of India said he already has a list of NHL teams he would rather play for. That means he's thinking about a future without the Maple Leafs. But this wasn't the first time something like this happened. Back in the summer of 2024, the Maple Leafs tried to trade Mitch Marner. They had talks with the Vegas Golden Knights. The Leafs wanted a top defenseman named Shea Theodore, but Vegas said no. They didn't want to give him up, so the trade fell apart. That trade never happened, but the talk never stopped. It's now stronger than ever. Now it's June 2025. Marner still hasn't signed a new deal with the Maple Leafs. And there's another problem: money. Reports say Marner wants a new contract that could pay him around $13 million per year. That's a lot, even for a player as good as he is. And the Maple Leafs may not be able to afford it. There's a thing in hockey called the salary cap. Teams can't spend more than a certain amount on all their players combined. If they give Marner what he wants, they may not have enough money left to sign other important players. So what do? Let him go? Try to trade him again? No one knows. But something else is making it harder for Toronto to keep him. In the US, some states don't make people pay state income tax. Places like Florida, Texas, and Nevada let players keep more of their paycheck. That's a big deal for someone earning millions. Canada doesn't have that rule. So if Marner stays with the Leafs, he could lose a lot more money to taxes. Some fans and reporters are asking, can Canadian teams even keep their best players anymore? The answer might be no. That's not all. More reports are now saying that the Vegas Golden Knights and the Los Angeles Kings are both very interested in getting Marner. Other teams like the San Jose Sharks, Anaheim Ducks, and Columbus Blue Jackets have also been named. One article from Yardbarker said, Mitch Marner stuns Maple Leafs fans. Only one Canadian team on his radar. That means he doesn't seem to want to stay in Canada, except for maybe one team. The rest of the places he might go are all in the US. Even betting websites have joined the buzz. They are giving odds on where Marner might end up next. Many believe he could land in Vegas or Los Angeles. So what happens now? The NHL free agency period starts on July 1st. That's the day when teams are allowed to sign new players. If Marner doesn't make a deal with the Leafs before then, he could be traded, or he might walk away. But here's what makes this even bigger. Mitch Marner isn't just any player. He's one of the Maple Leafs' most important stars. If he leaves, the whole team could change. People are also watching how this could affect Austin Matthews. He's another top player on the team. If Marner goes, Matthews might have to take on an even bigger role. One article said, Mitch Marner's uncertain future could quietly shift Austin Matthews' role in Toronto. That means Matthews could end up being the face of the team, whether he wants to or not. But why did this all start? Many people believe it goes back to that video, the one where Marner was yelling on the bench. That moment showed something big. It showed that something was very wrong inside the team. When fans saw that, they stopped asking if the team would change. They started asking when, and that when could be now. Marner hasn't talked much since the season ended. He hasn't done interviews or posted anything about what's next. That silence has made the rumors grow even louder. The Maple Leafs have a big choice to make. If they keep Marner and give him the contract he wants, they may not be able to improve the rest of the team. If they trade him, they might get new players or draft picks, but lose one of their best scorers. And if Marner leaves, fans will want to know why. Was it the money? Was it the pressure of playing in Toronto? Or was it what happened in that game, when he lost his cool and told his teammates exactly what he thought? There's no answer yet, but the whole league is watching. The Maple Leafs were once seen as a team ready to win it all. But after 7 straight Game 7 losses, people are starting to wonder, can they still win with the players they have, or do they need to start over? This isn't just a player leaving a team. This could be the start of something much bigger. One player shouted during a game, now the entire NHL is waiting to see what happens because of it. Will the Leafs trade Mitch Marner? Will he stay and take less money? Will another team make a huge offer? July 1st is coming soon, and everything might change. Something big just happened behind the scenes of the NHL playoffs. Connor McDavid's wife, Lauren Kyle, broke her silence, and it came at a time no one expected. Right in the middle of the Stanley Cup chase, she shared some surprising news and personal feelings. It wasn't just about hockey. It was about stress, emotions, and one big surprise fans never saw coming. The Edmonton Oilers won Game 5 of the Western Conference Final. The final score was 6-3 against the Dallas Stars. That win sent the Oilers back to the Stanley Cup Final for the second year in a row. The last time that happened for any NHL team was 2009. The Oilers are now going to face the Florida Panthers, just like they did last year. The Panthers won last time. Now, Edmonton wants a different ending. Right after the Oilers won Game 5, Lauren Kyle, the wife of Connor McDavid, went on Instagram. She posted a short message. It said, "Finals, baby!" She also posted a few pictures showing her excitement. This short post got a lot of attention. Fans and media shared it all over the internet. It showed how much the win meant, not just to players, but to their families too. Lauren Kyle is not just known for being married to one of the top NHL players. She is also a businesswoman. She is opening a new bar in downtown Edmonton. It's called Bar Trove. It will open on June 6th, 2025. That is right during the Stanley Cup Final. The location is the Canada Permanent Building. It is a historic building in the city. The bar will have a European-style design. It's meant to be fancy but comfortable. The goal is to create a place where people can enjoy food and drinks while also enjoying great design. Lauren has a background in interior design. This bar is her big project. In an interview, she said she wanted Bar Trove to be more than just a bar. It will also show her work as a designer. She worked on everything, from the look of the furniture to the lighting. NHL wives and friends are already showing support for it. Some have said they will visit when it opens. At the same time, Lauren shared how hard it is to be the wife of a hockey player during the playoffs. She called the experience emotional and chaotic. She explained that playoff time brings a lot of stress. Families live with the highs and lows of every game. Wins are exciting. Losses can be hard to deal with. She said, "It's emotional and chaotic." She gave this quote during a story about what it's like being part of the NHL life off the ice. Many fans don't get to see this side of things. It's not just about what happens in the arena, it's also about the people behind the players. Connor McDavid is having a strong playoff season. He has 26 points in 16 games. That includes both goals and assists. He's helping lead his team on the ice. Off the ice, Lauren Kyle is dealing with the pressure in her own way. She's planning a bar opening, supporting her husband, and sharing her feelings with the world. She posted pictures of her family and friends in Edmonton. She showed people getting ready for the bar launch. One photo showed her hugging a friend. Another showed her looking at designs and colors for Bar Trove. These were not normal game day posts. They were full of emotion. Lauren Kyle and Connor McDavid have been together for years. They keep most of their private life quiet. But during this playoff run, Lauren has opened up more than usual. She's showing what the playoffs feel like for people not wearing skates. She shared stories about long days, nervous nights, and cheering during big moments. On May 29th, 2025, just before the Oilers won the conference final, Lauren posted a story on Instagram. It had a short video. She was walking through Bar Trove. She showed the final touches being made. "Can't wait for everyone to see this," she wrote. This was only 1 week before opening day. At the same time, news outlets picked up her story. They talked about how the Oilers are not just playing for the cup, they're also dealing with pressure from all sides. ESPN, Reuters, and the Times of India wrote about Lauren's updates. One article said, "It's not just the players who are feeling the heat. Their families are right there with them." Lauren Kyle also posted updates with her dog and family. She showed what life is like when Connor is at practice or away for games. These stories got support from fans. Many people left comments saying they were glad to see the human side of NHL life. Lauren's business, Bar Trove, is set to become a part of Edmonton's nightlife. It will open just 3 days after Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. Some people think players may even visit during off days. The location and timing make that possible. Another major part of Lauren's story is how she is supported by other NHL wives. During her posts, she tagged other women who are also married to NHL players. Many of them reposted her stories. They congratulated her and promised to attend the opening. That support shows how tight the hockey community can be, especially during the playoffs. Lauren also gave an interview where she talked about her plans after the playoffs. She said she wants to expand her design business. She's already worked on other homes and restaurants, but Bar Trove is her biggest project so far. She said, "This is a dream coming true. I've been working on this for over a year." The timing of her business launch and the Stanley Cup Final is rare. It adds pressure, but Lauren says she's ready. She told one news site, "It's a lot, but I'm excited." She also thanked fans who reached out with kind messages. Connor McDavid has not made many public comments about Bar Trove, but in a short interview he said, "I'm proud of what Lauren's doing. She's worked really hard." That quote came from a post-game press talk. It showed that even while focusing on hockey, he's aware of what's happening back home. The Oilers will face the Florida Panthers starting June 4th. Last year, the Panthers beat them in the finals. This year, Edmonton is looking for revenge. Fans are watching not just the games, but also the stories around them, like Lauren Kyle's. Media coverage of Lauren's posts has spread worldwide. Sites in Canada, India, and the US have reported on her comments. That shows how big the Stanley Cup has become and how much people care about the personal side of sports. No one expected Lauren Kyle to make headlines, but now she's part of the story. Her posts gave people a look into what it feels like to live through a championship run. Her business launch, her emotional words, and her online support have made her one of the most talked about people during this playoff run. She's not playing on the ice, but her voice, her work, and her presence have added something new to this year's Stanley Cup story.
Canada, oh Canada, our home and brave land.
That's
not really close.
An all-Canadian final.
Oh, my goodness.
And the Stanley Cup champion, the Edmonton.
Charles Barkley just dropped the boldest NHL prediction of 2025, and hockey fans can't stop talking about it. He's calling for an all-Canadian Stanley Cup final between the Leafs and Oilers. But the real shocker, he capped it off by singing "Oh Canada" live on TV. Sir Charles doesn't just think a Canadian team will end the 32-year Cup drought. He's betting on a historic all-Canadian showdown that hasn't happened since 1989. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Sorry about the tariffs, but y'all going to get us back with a Stanley Cup victory. Barkley belted out after picking the Oilers to win it all, proving once again that his hockey enthusiasm far exceeds his singing ability. What makes Barkley's prediction so fascinating isn't just the outcome. It's how seriously he approached the entire playoff bracket. This wasn't some random celebrity making wild guesses. Barkley went through every series methodically, showing surprising knowledge about player injuries, goaltending situations, and even coaching matchups. He knew Jason Robertson was out for Dallas. He referenced John Cooper's coaching record. He praised Vasilevsky as the hot goalie. The Basketball Hall of Famer clearly watches hockey and watches it closely. In the Eastern Conference, Barkley picked Toronto to defeat Ottawa in the Battle of Ontario first round, giving a special shout-out to my man Austin Matthews, Scottsdale, Arizona. He then boldly predicted the Leafs would take down the defending champion Tampa Bay Lightning in the second round, something they failed to do in previous playoff meetings. This is their year.